Hello, this is Juan for JuanSource.com, and today I'm going to be doing a commentary on a match that I did not play. This is going to be something new that I want to start doing since I don't have a whole lot of recent MR15 demos of my own. I figured in the meantime, while I hopefully gather some, I can do demos of other teams from ESCAI, CVOP. And I'm also thinking about taking some requests from users on the forums and reviewing their demos and see how that works out. So yeah, I mean that's just a couple ideas I have, but yeah, today I'm going to be doing a match of AYEDOG or Micah Gaming versus Absolution. Absolution is a lot of the old Devastation guys. Micah Gaming, kind of a CGS mix of Optics, Rambo, Mo, Riddick. Yeah, I mean that whole group. So yeah, I've watched this demo a couple times. There's a couple key points that I really want to go over. I think they do both teams, in fact, do some cool things. I'm going to comment on those things, kind of make say what I liked, say what I didn't like, point out some mistakes, point out things that they did well, and hopefully you guys get a lot out of this. So first round, I'm going to be kind of examining Micah Gaming's or AYEDOG's CT pistol strat. I like the concept behind it. What they do is they send one guy towards B and four just kind of plow out long with flashes. And so I'm going to kind of show it as it goes out. Then I'm going to pause and kind of say what I liked and what I would change about it. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. What happens here is Rambo's the guy that goes B solo, okay? And you'll see what he does here is right after he does, I'm going to pause it. He just kind of runs across there, and he's going to eventually throw a flash into B, okay? So what I would have done there is since we're only sending one guy B, and four through long, is I would have smoked the cross there so that they don't know that only one guy is B. If they know that information, that's obviously going to make it easier for them to run their strat, and just the more information they have, the better for them. So what I would have done there, and what I would do in Rambo's position is I would have smoked that cross. And so that way they know he's not the only one, and then I would have flashed into B. Just kind of at the entrance, and then I would have just got out of B. I would have given it up completely because I think we could have retaked it later in the round, given that we have four guys like coming through T-spawn, and I think we would have had some good flank opportunities there. And then if I was Rambo, I'd go to lower, and I'd probably help out with the guys in middle, maybe even flash middle for them. But so I'm going to switch. You see what these guys are doing. They are going through here. They have a guy flashing over for them, and they're just going to explode out here. And overwhelm these guys out through here, okay? And see, they get out here. They use their flashes. The T's were pretty well set up there for it, but they still did a good job here of pushing them back and getting the kills here. You'll see that Rambo went to lower, and they've completely given up B, which I think is a good thing here. I mean, when they have four guys at another spot, there's no point in trying to hold B. Just kill the other guys and worry about retaking later in the round. Okay, so now they have a 3 versus 2 that could have worked out a little better for them, but they have, it's not too bad here. So they have a 3 versus 2. I would try to send, mainly through tunnel. Since you have USPs, you can try to headshot the guy in the back of the site. He's likely only going to have a Glock. In this case, he has a Deagle, which is unfortunate. But still, it's not too bad. So they're doing the right thing here. I think they're sending all three through here. They got that kill. Now it's a 2 versus 1 here. Cheeks just manages to get a nice shot on Riddick, and another one on Rambo. So I think they did the right thing there, though. They all went together. They went quickly, figured out where they were, got it down to a 2 versus 1. Cheeks just hit some nice shots. So. And the other thing, I'm going to pause this. The other thing about smoking that cross there is that if you do that, that allows flexibility. So if a team knows your strat, so if a team thinks you're going to do that strat that they just did, if you smoke that cross, you could do the complete opposite and just completely throw them off. So say you're in a match and a team has watched your demos or something like that, and they know your CT pistol. Well, toss that smoke down and do the opposite. Run through 4 through B and just flash over long and give up long and give up A and run 4 through B. It's the complete opposite, and just things like that to keep teams off balance and make small adjustments. throw fakes if teams know what you're gonna do. I mean, a lot of times if a team knows what you're gonna do, you can use that in your advantage. You know, if they're anticipating something, you obviously want to use that knowledge against them. So this is pretty much standard eco stuff right here. It looks like Absolution is just gonna be waiting it out as they should be. Now, AYEDOG, Riddick got into the lower here, and they have a pretty good crossfire going on up here in the upper. What I would do in Riddick's position is I don't like sitting on these stairs. I think, I don't know, I just don't like it because I can get hit from lower easily, and, I don't know. It just seems like they'd headshot me. What I like doing in this position is, I have to unpause the demo to go through here, but I just like sitting behind this brick box here, and then maybe having like a guy across the tunnel. This way I can block flashes. I can just crouch up, get a couple shots in, and then crouch back down and just be completely safe. I don't really like pushing into there. I think they were a little impatient there. If they could have just set up a crossfire, maybe even had deagles there, I think they could have been pretty effective there. But yeah, they did get one killed there, but obviously you want to do better than that. So yeah, down to 4 vs 1. Musty's just gonna get exit kills or whatever. So I'm gonna fast forward through this. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about ecoing here at B again. Laurent has a deagle, which if I would buy a deagle. Let me say this again. If I would buy a deagle on an eco round, it would almost always be the second round, because what will happen on the third round is people who die on the second round will usually AK up, so your chances of winning the round are less likely as opposed to a second round. A second round players will usually have like an MP5, maybe one will have a USP or deagle, maybe one will have an AK, but like I said, the rest will have a Galil, MP5, stuff like that. So I think if you're gonna buy deagles, if you're a rifler and you want to buy a deagle on CT side, you should be doing it on the second round, not on the third round. But with that said, I like the position that War Machine's in right here. What I would be doing, though, on this type of eco setup is, I mean, he does have a pretty decent angle here, but I would ask for one of my teammates to go to the door and just spot. And this guy, I mean, since you can't crouch bug, I don't know exactly what leagues you can crouch bug in anymore. I mean, obviously, that'd be the preferred way to do it. But I would have a teammate at the door just spotting, and then this guy would not peek whatsoever, because you don't want to, let him nade you. Would not peek whatsoever until a terrorist is in the site. So until a guy at the door spots someone walking in, that you don't want to peek until then. So I'm gonna play this out. He's peeking a little bit here. The thing is, right here is, if you're peeking him right here with a deagle, chances are you're not going to one-shot him. I mean, you will, every once in a while. But chances are you're not going to one-shot him. You're going to, get one hit on him. It's not going to kill him. But they're just going to be able to hide behind that wall, but if they're walking into the site through the tunnel, see, I mean, he got spotted, he got naded. Now he's down to 27 health already. And, they know where he is. So he's not going to be able to do much. But, if they're in the tunnel already, if they're in the site, then there's nowhere they can hide. If they're sitting in the back and you're peeking them, then they can just hide behind that wall and have another teammate peek or something who has full health, and you're not going to be able to get many kills that way. But if you wait for them to come in the site, you're going to do a lot more damage. They have nowhere to go, so you can just use that box to your advantage, evade shots, and get some deagle kills. I mean, you may be sacrificing that guy at the door. He may not be able to do that much, but I mean, I'd say almost always you can get a deagle kill on a guy that's not looking at you. If you have the first shot in. So yeah, I mean that's an idea for ecoing at B. Okay, so notice how Absolution has good long spawns here. When you have good long spawns like this, especially early in the game, I like sending fast long, kind of send a message saying that you can't get pit on us or whatever. Now, interestingly, the guy with the best spawn didn't go first. I guess they had a guy bunny hop it out there. But either way, I mean, I guess that worked. He got there pretty quick. But usually, you want to send the guy with the best spawn there, and have the other guy flash for him. What they did do there is they caught Musty crossing into the pit. So now that's going to be something that the CTs have to worry about. So I'm gonna pause again. Absolution. It's 4 vs 4 now. I thought they had an advantage, but yeah, it's 4 vs 4. And it looks like they're sending guys through T spawn to group towards B. now I want to talk a little bit about how they take this, because you'll notice on radar they're all pretty much, once they get here, they're all gonna walk. Oh no, he did make some noise there. But what I would have preferred to done here in this situation, well, let me play it out first and show you how they take it, and then I'd kind of give my take on how I would rather take it. Okay, so they were pretty quiet here. They don't know many guys are here. Okay, there are 4 players here, or okay, 3 and 1 lower. But they didn't. The other team didn't really know that. They only heard one guy. So they toss their smokes down, they toss their flashes in, whatever, and they get plowed down by rifles. Okay. So what? I mean, that guy did get 2 deagle kills, I guess. I mean, that worked out okay for him, but they're still at a disadvantage. I don't know. This is 2 versus 2, but it could have worked out much better for him, considering how low Rambo was, and you know, War Machine rotated when they heard. What I would have done in that situation is just walked through the tunnel until I was spotted. I mean, there's no reason, really, because they don't know you're there. So why smoke and why flash? Especially when, you know, there was no op in the back. You already peeked that corner, and there was no op. So, you know, you have nothing to be afraid of. It's just walk all the way in until you're spotted, okay? And then just have your teammates walk behind you and just explode out. You know, smoking and flashing that is just a dead giveaway that you're coming. War Machine rotated up. He got in a good position. He counter flashed. So, you know, the guys that were coming into the site were blind, and you know, they didn't do, you know, they couldn't do much because they were ready for him. But if you walk in, they're not. And usually when you walk in like that, you have the reaction shot, and a lot of times you get that first entry pick, and the rotates aren't there in time, and you still have your flashes left. You can use your flashes for in the site. So I mean, I think walking until your spot is a much better option than just, you know, pouring out nades and just, you know, hoping that you win the flash battle, which, you know, isn't very much the case. But yeah, I mean, I guess we missed some action there on 1 versus 1. I guess they both missed a lot of shots, whatever. So I think AYEDOG's, oh no, they're not ecoing. Okay, yeah, this is gonna be an example of how you handle kind of long. Now Musty gets flashed off right at the beginning here. If that becomes like a common case, like if you know you can't cross pit, because Musty tried to cross pit last round, you need to immediately drop back and take cat. And usually you want to do this with 2 guys, not solo, okay? What Mustang's going to do here, I mean, this puts him in a bad position. If a guy were to take fast cat here, he would have been screwed. You know, fortunately they didn't for him, but you know, he's not really effective in this spot right here. What I would rather be doing is pushing cat. Now now they're making a boost, which is alright, but he's doing this solo. So, you know, if he doesn't get the first kill, they're screwed. I mean, the other team has the site. The round's pretty much over. They have advantage. They have the site. They have positioning. Nobody in A. So if Musty dies here without a trade, they're screwed. But he did get 1 kill, and they had a nice push on middle. That's the other thing. I'm going to talk about that a little later, is when to push middle on CT. But as for that, I mean, him playing A solo there just seems odd to me, because the Opera Mo just seemed worthless in CT Swan. Like, I mean, he couldn't do anything. You know, there's nobody, you know, he couldn't do anything to help the other guys. So instead of having just 1 guy up cat, you need to be boosting 2, and maybe giving up long or something like that. Or, I mean, they had like 3 guys in middle, which seemed pointless. But anyhow, so 6th round here. Now Absolution, it looks like they're just gonna straight rush B. Now unless you have, you know, awesome spawns and you have really good bunny hoppers on your team, doing this as a eco strat, just, I don't know. It doesn't really seem like a very good strat. I think there's a lot more creative things that you can do, especially when they bought Deagles like they did, to try to pick off some guns and try to win some rounds on ecos. And there's actually a later round on the 8th round here where Absolution does do a good job of ecoing. And, you know, rushing like that on ecos is just stupid. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later, 2 rounds from now, how they do a much better job of that. With Deagles by spreading out, using their time, getting picks, you know, waiting for impatient players to make mistakes. So here's a round where AYEDOG actually had better spawns and Absolution didn't get any buddy hops off, and so they were able to get in the pit. And you know, this is an ideal situation for AYEDOG here, when they can get guys in pit and then they have the AWPer support. Let me switch over to Mo. When they have the AWPer supporting here, I mean, when you get pit and AWPers crossfire like that, it's so difficult to take long. So, I mean, that's an ideal situation if you can get there as a CT. However, you don't want to force it, okay? If a team's beating you there, if they're using their flashes effectively and they're getting the picks on the guy crossing pit, do not try to force it, okay? Fall back, use the smoke, fall back, flash, and push 2 guys on cat, okay? And hold cat aggressively. Give up long, you know, switch it. Don't try to force that long hold, because you will die a lot doing it if a team is good at taking long, especially if they have good bunny hoppers. And figure out the spawn rotations quickly. I mean, figure out when you have a good spawn, figure out when they have a good spawn. I mean, you can know pretty much within the first 5-6 rounds, you know, at the latest, when they have good long spawns and when they don't. And you know, when you have good long spawns. So figure that out, and you know, use your spawn rotation knowledge of when you should be able to play long and when you should be playing back on cat. You know, that's kind of the thing they in this match, these guys almost always try to take long. And when they don't, the 1 round or 1 or 2 rounds that they don't, they played a guy solo on cat, which doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me. You need to be playing, you know, 2 there. They need to be supporting each other and you know, getting trades at the least, and slowing down rushes and layering flashes, you know, stuff like that. So, okay, so this is the round I want to talk about with Absolution. See, they have deagles, and I guess they didn't spread out as much as I thought they did, but you know, with this you want to be on ecos like this. Oh no, they did go long. See, this is another thing I don't like. I guess I didn't look at this round as good as I should have. I mean, they got out there. Absolution did a good job there. You know, I guess AYEDOG had bad spawns and they tried to force it, and see, that's what happens. But I think on ecos like this, is you want to be spreading out with your deagles. Just spread out, catch cat pushes, walk up, you know, walk pick B, hold long pushes, and you know, hope teams get aggressive on you, because you know, that happens all the time, and you can win so many ecos by just sitting back on them, waiting till 30 seconds until you make your move. See what kind of guns you can pick up. See, look at that. I mean, Mo's pushing in the middle there, given he was at a disadvantage, but things like that will happen all the time. If you just sit back with deagles, you can get so many free kills on ecos like that. You know, people tend to do that. I mean, when they know another team is eco, they get kill crazy, and you can capitalize that on by just being patient. Okay, I mean, they're going to be searching for frags, and if you sit back on them, you know, get those deagles out and you know, one shot them. You know, you can win a lot of ecos that way, instead of just blindly rushing one side and hoping that you win flash battles again. So let me switch over to long here. It looks like AYEDOG was eco now, and they pushed long. They got the guns here, and Mustang and War Machine. So this is what I like doing on CT ecos. If you can manage to get a gun early on, or you know, they quick hit long, okay, and they do a good job here of shifting up. Although they didn't do it quick enough, and Mustang for some reason did not go with War Machine. They should have double pushed that catwalk together, because you know, they knew that they were both long. Absolution knew that both War Machine and Mustang were at long, so Mustang and War Machine need to immediately switch up position and just try to be as random as possible. And if they would have double pushed cat there, they probably could have got that guy solo there and been in a very good position to win the round. But Mustang went to CT spawn by himself. War Machine got killed on cat by himself. And so, you know, they just got plowed over and they took the site. But if they double push that cat, and it doesn't always have to be cat. If you go long, you can, you know, both of you go back to middle, or both of you go back to cat. Just be random, pick a spot, you know, go place it together, and just try to throw the other team off guard. Okay, so Rambo gets picked in middle here. You'll notice Absolution did not, I'm sorry, I got these names. AYEDOG did not smoke that door. I mean, there's no reason to not be smoking that. You need to smoke that every round. Not only does it disguise how many are at B, it gives you cover, and you can also sit in that smoke as a CT AWPer picking in the middle. That's, you know, that's a big advantage to you. You know, back when I used to play with 3D, I used to tell Nick all the time that, or I'm sorry, not, well, I mean, I guess it was Nick and Kyle. I used to tell them all the time, sorry, I'm going to pause the action. It's talk about this. I used to tell them all the time that they need to be spotting the middle of the whole round, okay? Because that's very important as a T side. You need to watch those middle pushes and know what's going on in that middle and keep a count. So I used to tell them to do that all the time, but they used to complain all the time that there was a smoke in the middle and the CTs were just camping it. So, I mean, having that smoke down in middle is just so important. You know, for so many reasons. And you need to be doing it every round. Somebody needs to be doing it. I mean, you have 5 players with smoke, so someone needs to be doing it. So, I missed what happened here, but yeah, I guess it's like a 5 versus 1. They're gonna save out here. Yeah, fast forward. So AYEDOG's probably gonna have to eco again. Let's see what they do here. I mean, I guess on ecos is the exception, unless you're trying to pull, you know, like a eco 5 stack at B. You may want to smoke the cross, but yeah, I mean, I guess you don't necessarily. I mean, I guess counterpoint that kind of gives away that you're ecoing, and you never want to do that. So you may want to smoke it on ecos also, but I mean, if you're really low money, you want to avoid that. So they picked up a gun here. It looks like an offer from Absolution was soloing B on an eco. That's a big no-no. You don't want to give the other team an op for free. Yeah, anyhow, War Machine heard one, dinked one, and now it's a 2 versus 3. Wow, nice shot. Okay, so 12th round here. You see Absolution just picked up 2 ops here. Now this is something that I guess I haven't done enough, but you should be doing, I think. I think it's a big help when picking this cross, is you need to be AKing this side of the door, okay? So when you AK this door, not only do you hit them and do damage, but you also slow them and make it easier for the ops to pick. So what I like doing now these days is, as an AKer, is I'll drop right here, and you know, have my oppers above me, and I'll drop right here and just spam this right side of the door behind those boxes so I have some cover, and just spam, and especially on ecos, like that works good on ecos too. Just spam that side of the door, and it does a, you know, damage to them. It slows them down. It's just, you know, there's no reason not to do it again. I mean, just another advantage for you. And you know, again, you always want those small advantages, so just, you know, do it. It's just like the smoke in the mid thing. Just no reason not to. So. I mean, obviously, unless you're doing a rush, but, yeah. So it looks like, again, AYEDOG's playing someone's solo cat. Doesn't seem like a good idea to me, but, okay, so, AYEDOG here, they're playing pretty, aggressive on middle. They're playing double it up on CT spawn here, and you'll see Riddick is very aggressive on this middle, especially when there's a smoke down this. You know, someone could easily be sitting in that smoke. See, I don't like that idea of picking middle like that as a CT, because you're open to so many angles there, that, you know, someone can just pop up from, you know, behind that box, under the door, on catwalk. Yeah, I don't really like sending an opper there. I like sending Colts there, spamming the door. I mean, I guess if you are opping that, I would want a rifler assisting. But let me show you what I mean here. I guess. Well, we'll go through this action first. I have a good crossfire here. I mean, that's a good setup right there. That goose guy shouldn't be peeking until that guy on the ramp makes contact. But yeah, they did a good job of that. So I'm gonna. What I was talking about earlier is you should have, if you have an opper picking this angle right here, you should have a rifler, you know, sitting right here, spamming the heck out of this door, so no guy can just walk right here, and so walk right here and pick that opper, or you know, come behind this box without knowing it. So I mean, if you're going to be doing this and being that aggressive on mid, you need support right here, especially if you get, you know, this guy gets flashed, you know, he's very vulnerable. So. Okay, so Absolution is taking a fast cat here, and you'll see, I believe this is Sasquatch, Neverender. He gets up catwalk right away. He gets up really quick, and you know, this is obviously a good situation for him. And he gets up to this corner. You know, I don't really like the flashes that he throws here, but what I would have done here is, I mean, you know, nades are going to be coming at you, and you know, there might be a car, there might be a guy at rail. I mean, AYEDOG is equaling this round, so it's a little bit different, but had this been a gun round, what I would be doing here is that if I got up this quick and then they spotted me, but they were already on the rail, is I would have dropped back to bottom of the stairs, and I would just held there and told the rest of my team, okay, you guys need to come out long, because there's so much attention on me here, knowing that they know I'm on cat, that, you know, the guys are going to be start to pushing middle. They're going to be, you know, on the rail. They're going to be at the car. They're going to be set up for cat. And so I would have told my teammates to come along. Instead, these guys, you know, dropped cat and they get double headshotted because they turn their backs to two guys on the rail. I don't know. That didn't seem like a very good option to me. I would have much rather just, you know, sat on that catwalk, took my time, told my team, okay, we got them kind of pinched here. You guys need to come up long. I think that would have worked much better. But yeah, you know, AYEDOG turned this eco into a winning round now. At least I think so. I don't know how this turns out, but so Absolution is doing a good job here of sticking together. You know, taking their time a little bit, trying to isolate these guys. See, I wouldn't have tossed that smoke there. Because that's a dead giveaway. Well, I guess Mo didn't see the smoke, but that's a dead giveaway that you're about to cross. A lot of times when I'm doing that, if I'm like a 2 versus 3 or something and I have an AWPer with me, I tell them to just jump out and pick. I'll jump across, you jump out and pick. I don't smoke that because, first of all, that smoke doesn't even do a very good job of covering that cross. You can see legs and stuff through that smoke. And second off, it's a dead giveaway that you're about to cross. So, you know, I would much rather just jump out and try to pick that than smoke it and, you know, try to run through that smoke. That smoke does literally absolutely no good. Very, very rarely. I can't even think of one situation where I'd want to smoke that cross. I've tried this before. Even like tossing 2 or 3 smokes down there, you can still see people's feet like from picking it. So, I mean, I'd rather. I mean, crossing long is dangerous. I'd rather, you know, just have an AWPer jump out. But you'll see that. So they toss the smoke down this round, and you know, Riddick is kind of able to work through that smoke, and he's kind of able to see guys here without them seeing him. I mean, I guess they didn't peek all that much, and now the smoke's faded. But so he spots a guy, and then I have no idea why he just repeeked him, but he did, and. Yeah, so now there's a hole in the middle. What I would be doing in Absolution's role right here is just kind of try to exploit that. I would put a little pressure on that middle. Hopefully draw some rotates. If I was never under here, draw some rotates to the middle while the rest of my team works the other parts of the map, probably catwalk. Draw attention to me, but instead he just kind of walked out and picked it. I don't know if I would have done that, but yeah. So now. 2 versus 3. Mike Gaming's favor. Yeah, see how Cheeks just kind of bunny hop cross that. That worked okay for him too. I mean, that's what I would do as a rifler. I would bunny hop cross that, and then have if there's an AWPer behind him, have him peek out after me. 2 versus 3. You'll notice AYEDOG split up here. One guy going cat, one guy going long. When you're at a disadvantage like that, I think it's okay. But if it's in a 2 versus 2 or 2 versus 1, I try to isolate guys and, you know, take them out together. But since they're at a disadvantage, they obviously have to make a move here, try to get a good flank and, you know, get some easy kills or whatever. But yeah, it just didn't work out for him. If I was in War Machine spot there, I would definitely be saving that gun. I mean, you know, Absolution's way ahead here, and they're going to have a lot more money than we do, if I'm speaking on AYEDOG's behalf. And so, you know, they're going to be able to buy anyway, so what's the point of trying to take out a gun? There is no point. So, you know, I'm just losing a gun on my behalf then. There's no point in doing that. So, and you know, one other thing is that I don't really like here, AYEDOG basically running the same thing every round. They have like no change of pace. You know, Absolution really this entire half have not been worried about catwalk at all. They've just been freely, you know, strolling around middle, you know, doing whatever they want, not having to worry about cat or mid pushes. They've just kind of been doing whatever they want, and that's because, you know, AYEDOG hasn't shown anything other than you know, their default every round, just playing standard too long, and, you know, one rail, stuff like that. You know, you got to throw in random aggressives here and there. You got to throw in mid-round pushes at catwalk, mid-round pushes at middle and B, and stuff like that, just to keep them off balance. Otherwise, they get way too comfortable. They're able to execute their strats, and I know especially this team. Sasquatch's team, they're a very good team when they can execute their strats if you let them do that. But otherwise, if you can shut down teams like that like to execute strats if you do those disruptive things by pushing mid rounds and just doing surprising things that they don't expect. Playing odd amount of guys in certain areas, maybe like 3 on catwalk, or pushing through B mid rounds, just stuff like that. That's a lack of what I've seen from AYEDOG, but yeah. So I mean, I guess I missed that action, but it was just kind of a small game situation, 1 versus 2, whatever. Never Ender almost had him split up there, and almost pulled it off, but yeah. So that's gonna be the half. I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to the second half. Give me a second. Okay, heading into the second half here, I'm going to talk a little bit about Absolution's CT setup here. They play a pretty standard 2 towards B early round, looks like 2 long and 1 on the rail here. Now, what AYEDOG is eventually going to do in this pistol round is they're all going to go cat, okay? And this is a pretty good counter to actually what Absolution is doing, because Absolution has very poor cat spotting. If you're not going to be playing cat as a CT directly, you should at least have someone spotting middle. You'll see the mid guy, how he's right by the door here. I think in this case you'd rather want to be kind of spotting the middle a little bit, especially since I think I saw, yeah, they have another guy CT spawn. So I think these 2 guys need to be a little bit more aggressive on middle since they're not holding cat. And the other 2 guys here at A, they're playing solo again. You have 1 solo goose here and the other solo long. So I don't really like this setup. I think these 2 guys at A should be playing together. The 2 guys in middle should be playing together on the door, and they should have better cat spotting. Okay. Instead, you're gonna see what happens here. Micah Gaming, they basically just do like a slow setup here. They're eventually going to work all to catwalk here, and it's going to work out for them. Most of them have USP flash, so I think their eventual plan is just to silently group up here. They're clearing this out right here. Though I think Mo should be waiting for the rest of his teammates to get a little closer before committing up here. But I guess they may just be drawing nades. See how they go back? I guess that's a good plan by Mo, is they hit and then they come back. But the, Absolution still has no idea how many guys are actually on cat. They only saw 1. And so when they get up here, see, they have the other team in such bad positions. They're rotating here. They only have 1 on the rail. The guy on the ramp just, died immediately. So, I mean, they had poor rotations there because they had such poor spotting on catwalk. And so yeah, I mean, the lesson there is you need to be spotting more direct. I mean, those guys on middle need to be a little bit more active instead of just playing passive angles like that. I don't know, that just seems like useless to me, especially when you have USP advantages. On CT pistol, you need to be using your range and picking down middle, or getting headshots on the guy at palm tree and getting headshots on the guy coming up catwalk. So I mean, that's something I should have been doing. But so Eco here. AYEDOG has a good buy here. They have 1 AK spamming the door, as he should be, and that AK should be keeping account on how many guys are at B the entire round. So look at Rambo does a good job here of just staying on this middle the entire round and keeping account and telling his team where they should go based on the numbers of where the CT players are. And notice how the guys with the MP5s and the pistols are leading. They have 2 pistols, 2 MP5s, and an AK. And the AK guy just kind of sits back a little bit, lets the other guys work in front of him, see how they're protecting him. And they're doing a good job of getting into the site here and getting the plant out. So I mean, this is really good eco play. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward here. So again, they're spamming the door. That's what you want to be doing there. So, I mean, do that damage to guys crossing, slow them down a little bit. So, look at Doobie here, and this is exactly what you don't want to do. I mean, this is what I was talking about in the second half. See, he peeks this, he gets spotted, and he gets naded, and he's already down to 38 health, okay? And see how he's just shooting at him, and the other guys who are getting hit, occasionally by his deagle shot, or just hiding behind the wall. And you can see on radar, he's barely done any damage, and he died without hardly doing anything with that deagle. What he should have been doing is just camping behind that box, and if he can't get to that box in time without them seeing him, he needs to like not go there. He needs to be going maybe outside the site, or I don't know, maybe somewhere completely else, like maybe pushing middle or something with that deagle. But him sitting behind that box and trying to shoot guys that are strafing back and forth behind a wall just isn't very effective. Okay, so I'm going to focus on Absolution setup here again. Now, you'll see how Eric from Absolution, how he pushed out on Catwalk here. Now, I like doing that, and I like quick boosting an opera there once in a while. But him, and get the initial pick, I used to do that to Nick all the time, but him, like, coming back down here, back down onto the Catwalk without having any support. I mean, Mo just carelessly peeked that corner, but any player who, would take their time, would have flashed this guy out and naded this guy out and, killed him. Him playing solo cat, I just don't think is a good idea. Like I said, boosting there, getting one pick, and then falling off and playing like the rail if you have assistance from long or something like that. I mean, that I think would be a much better option. But just staying there when they know you're there and trying to repeat that angle and getting naded and flash just doesn't seem very effective, especially when you don't have any support. So, and again, Absolution was only playing. They were playing one A and one Catwalk, and so when that Catwalk guy died, I mean, AYEDOG just took the site, and there was nothing they could do. Their rotations were poor, and they had no support there. And so, I mean, they took the site, planted the bomb, and now they're at a big advantage to win the round. So, you can see how just giving up that one spot, especially Catwalk, they can take over the site very quickly. Down to 1 versus 3. Yeah, not much Cheek's gonna do, especially when you get the Opera and Pit there. Well, it's Snake Hair and Pit, but I mean, it works almost just as good when you can hit your shots. Okay, so AYEDOG should be expecting an eco right here. So I mean, basically, they should just be posting up, spamming doors, keeping counts on B, watching pushes. Riddick does a good job of watching that. That's a good angle to watch that long push from. I guess I've never really talked about that too much, but that's definitely a good thing to do. What Riddick's doing here isn't such a good idea. He knows they're eco. He's rushing. He turned that corner with a flash out, which is not a good thing. And then he rushed up that Catwalk by himself with an op. I don't know, what's the point of doing that, right? He gave up an op. I mean, War Machine did get the trade on the guy pushing, but that's $5,000 down the drain right there just because you wanted to go get some kills on Catwalk. Now I don't know if they're just if they don't care, if they're just running on and not caring what happens, but I mean, don't do that. That's just stupid. Okay, so looking at AYEDOG, they have some pretty good long spawns here. So that's a good idea early in the half to try to claim your stake at long. And War Machine gets a good bunny hop off here. Well, not that great, I guess. But when you're the best spawn like this, notice how War Machine turned that corner with a flashbang out, and he saw that guy going towards the pit. You want to always turn that corner. If you're the first guy, you never want to have a flash out turning that corner. I mean, okay, so War Machine, I'm going to pause for a second because I want to talk about this situation. He did kill 2 guys in the pit, but, I mean, 9 out of 10 times there aren't going to be 2 guys in the pit, and most of the time it's only going to be 1. And so, you want to take out that pit guy as fast as possible. And so when he turned that corner with his flashbang out, he gave up an opportunity to kill that guy crossing pit. He had an open shot on the guy crossing pit. I mean, the guy crossing pit was blind. He was out in the open. War Machine could have just 2-shotted that guy, and he would have been dead right away, and he could have worried about that guy in the corner. Instead, he turned that corner with a flashbang out. He opened himself up to if there would have been a guy in that corner posted up, he would have died immediately to that guy. With no chance of getting a trade or whatever because he had a flashbang out. I don't know. You need to have your gun out as the first guy there. The guys behind you are the ones that should be flashing. You should never have a flashbang out, turning the corner as a first guy. That's just suicide and giving up a good opportunity. So go ahead and resume here. I talked about smoking the cross before. I mean, this is 5 versus 2, so I guess it really doesn't matter in this situation. I mean, if it was a 5 versus 4 or a 5 versus 5 yet, I don't think I'd want to cross like that. I don't like. I would wait it out, wait for guys to come up cat, and then I would either toss the bomb across or just maybe send guys back from long and go up cat. But I mean, since it was a 5 versus 2, it didn't really matter. But yeah, I mean, crossing that long is suicide quite a bit when advantage is even. So. Okay, so they have good long spawns again. Let's see how they use them. I guess. Oh, they didn't come out right away, or they didn't cross into pit. Apparently, they did a good job of dodging flashes there. Now it's down to a 3 versus 5 in favor of Absolution. And so in cases like this, what I would do is just tell my operas to do something and work up. I mean, there's a minute 20 left in the round, so I mean, there's tons of time to work with right here, and I think Mo's being a little too conservative. I think he could be walking up catwalk. It'd be good to have an AK supporting him while he walks up catwalk, but I would just tell him, okay, operas need to try and go get picks now. In a disadvantaged situation like this, you're obviously not going to be able to take a site just by like going at it, trying to go 3 versus 5. So I would just walk and silently take picks. And you're going to see they're eventually going to do this here. Riddick's going to do this into B. Just walk the entire way. No reason to run here. You have Mo on the other side of the map making a little bit of a disturbance. So them able to go here should work. Riddick hits a nice shot. And so, yeah, I mean, they need to explode after they hit that pick. They're a little late getting off. I don't know if they blinded themselves or had someone else, or got blinded by someone else. But, I mean, it gave time for Absolution to get into the site. I mean, had they gone maybe 3-4 seconds earlier, perhaps they could have gotten into the site before the other guys, got in a position. But that didn't happen. I don't know if they were blind or not. Source TV doesn't show that as much, so I guess I can't make that judgment call. But okay, so if you guys watched Mustang's video article on B takes here, I mean, War Machine is another guy who really does these B takes really well. And you'll see how he smokes that, and then he just kind of waits it out. But you'll see that Absolution counters with another smoke, and you can see from War Machine's point of view, once he walks into that, since Absolution double smoked that is exactly what you want to do in that situation. When you see that single smoke, you want to toss your smoke into there, okay? Because it completely negates that ability to kind of pick into there. Had they not, I mean, and that took us a while to learn, unfortunately. Back in my time of playing, it was when teams would do that, Mustang and War Machine. We never really thought to smoke into their smokes, because they would just, go into that smoke, pick off people on the site, flash deep, and just take the site solo, and it got so annoying, and they were so good at it. But, I mean, they did a good job of covering that just by tossing one smoke down, so. Okay, so you'll see how they eventually hit out mid. I really like this move on their part, because they haven't really shown any more presence the entire match. And you'll see how Rambo kind of waits it out. He shows that his presence in the B tunnel, and then he waits for his mid guys. He showed his presence and made the guy in the back of the site worry about him, and then the mid guys just came and cleaned him up. That was a good kind of baiting style on that guy in the backside, and they did a good job of using their teamwork to take that guy out. So now it's down to 2 versus 2. I really like this spot that Rambo's in for post plant. I mean, I guess it's pretty common, but I use it all the time. If I'm the planner, I go there. I can watch all 3 spots pretty safely. I can occasionally check the tunnel. I can listen for a window, and I can random peek the door. So yeah, I mean, that's a really good spot to play in, even in like 1 versus 2 situations. Post plant is playing that back spot. So especially if you don't have time to get into the tunnel, that spot works out really well. So. Okay, so AYEDOG is full rushing B, and again, I really like this strat call because they're mixing it up, throwing in a change of pace, all 5 guys towards B. I I guess it was eco, but the reason why this works so well too is because when you're a T side and you are picking the guys crossing middle, they're going to be very hesitant to cross that B in it. They're going to have to start smoking the cross. They're going to be slightly late. And so, you know, when that starts happening and they become so hesitant to cross to B because you're getting hit on the cross, B rushes work really well when you get a good spawn. So they did a good job of mixing this up and throwing a good B rush in. And yeah, so that's pretty much going to be the round. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward. 2 versus 5. Looks like Absolution is just going for exit, so. Okay, again, I'm going to show this long rush. War Machine's leading out. See, again, he has his flashbang in the corner. See, if that guy... Well, okay, so not only did he have a flash out, but he also missed his flash. And you saw that guy at the corner also had a flash out. If that guy had an AWP and just was posting up in that corner, War Machine would have been dead instantly. If he would have had his AK out, at least he would have had, you know, a shot in. He could have got a shot in before he died. You know, so that's just it's another reason you need to have your gun out turning that corner. No reason you should have a flash out, so... they brought it down to a 2 versus 2. Obviously, getting pit post plant is a good spot. Rail's another good spot post plant, so they're in a pretty good situation here. And yeah. Okay, so again, showing the B perspective here. I really like kind of two-manning this early in the round sometimes. Just kind of probe the site, see what's going on there, maybe try to get some picks. How Rambo and War Machine work this. Let me try to get to Rambo's point of view. I'm blind. Yeah, I mean, they got 2 kills there. Basically just working that smoke. I guess Absolution maybe they didn't have another smoke to smoke into that. And so AYEDOG got 2 free kills, and they basically took the site. Well, I mean, they should have taken the site, and the round should be over. But I mean, I guess they're probably just running around at this point. The match is pretty much over. So, but yeah, I mean, I love sending AK op combos into B there just to kind of work that, get a feel for it, try to get some picks, do some damage. I mean, when you have that smoke down, you're very protected. And the other thing about sending 2 guys there is, if you do smoke that and work into that smoke, and the other team does smoke back at you, meaning it's double smoked, you have a second guy there to use as smoke. So once the double smokes are up, you can toss another smoke down. So that's a good, you know, 40 seconds of you know, smoke in the tunnel that you can work with. Given, I mean, half of it is double smoke, so you can't use it for about 20 seconds. But once you can use one of those guys as smoke, I'm saying, is to draw the other smoke out, and then use the second guy's smoke to work into it. So down to 2 versus 1 here. Again, they're in good spots, good post plant spots. One in the tunnel. Basically not gonna be able to do much. So. And AYEDOG wins 16-10. So yeah, that's going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm probably going to be doing more of these demos of me not playing, just analyzing other teams. And like I said, within the next couple weeks, I'm going to make a post on the forum requesting some demos from premium members, so that we can hopefully go over some member demos, maybe once a month or something like that. As a benefit to premium membership. So that's gonna be it. I'm out. See you guys next time.